Hi guys, it's Mrs. Ibinger. I'm getting ready to read chapter 13 of Monster Street, The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Chapter 13, Cellar Secrets. The cellar was cold and dim, like a mortuary. Max swept the floor with an old crooked broom, making his way through a maze of dusty furniture. A broken bookshelf, an abandoned wardrobe, and a metal gun case. The walls were rotted and covered in cobwebs, and the air smelled musty, like a box of old clothes that hadn't been opened in years. I should have told Gramps the truth, he thought, wrestling with guilt. I guess it won't matter any more once I'm back in the city in a couple of days. Max suddenly stopped. A beam of dusty sunlight illuminated an old wooden chest resting in the corner of the cellar. The wood was warped, and the top was covered with a layer of dust an inch thick. Its lock was rusted beyond use, and above it, was a grimy silver emblem. He walked closer to get a better look. The shape of it was unmistakable. Wolf? Max whispered, making out the form of a hungry beast baring its fangs. Max carefully unlatched the lock and opened the coffer. A moldy scent rose out of it. Inside was a collection of peculiar relics left over from a childhood long ago. A tin can of baseball cards, G.I. Joe action figures, and a Super Soaker water gun. Mixed in with these forgotten treasures were artifacts from a more grown-up lifetime. A framed photograph turned face down, a worn leather journal, a stargazing atlas, a camouflage net, a black pouch used for storing bullets, and a set of hunting magazines. What is all this stuff? Max asked, running his finger over each item. He turned over the photograph and gasped. It was as if he had seen a ghost. In the picture was his mother, at least a decade younger. She was holding Max when he was a baby and standing next to a tall, kind-faced man who had his arms around both of them. Dad? Max said in a shock awe. He stared at his father's face while gently touching the glass in the frame. He had only seen a few pictures of his father before. It was too hard for his mom to keep photographs of him up in their house. Gramps was right, he thought. I do look like my dad. After a long moment, Max set down the picture, picked up the leather journal, and opened it. The writing on the first page read, The Diary of Jedediah Blood Knight. It was his father's handwriting. Max recognized it from old letters he had once found in his mom's closet. All this stuff must have been my dad's, he thought. Maybe this is what Gramps and Grammy wanted to pass down to me. Maybe this is why they invited me here. He considered closing the chest so as not to ruin Gramps and Grammy's surprise, but he wanted answers, and he didn't want to wait any longer for the truth. He continued flipping through the pages of the diary and stopped on the very last entry. October 31st. The wolves are nearly all dead. Time is running out. I must protect my family at all costs and find a way to complete my experiment. If I am unsuccessful tonight, then a new beast will surely arrive in 12 years. So it's true then? Max whispered. My father was hunting the beast, and he died trying to protect us, his family. He looked up from the diary and noticed a giant drape covering up something behind a chest. He gently lifted the covering, and his eyes grew wide. Beneath it was a table ornamented with glass beakers, coiling funnels, and test tubes. An open chemistry book sat in the middle of it all, filled with indecipherable equations. Taped to the wall behind the table were blueprints of the red hoodie with a silver zipper, the silver dagger, and a glass vial labeled liquid silver. What was my father doing with a chemistry lab down here in Gramps and Grammy's basement? He wondered. What was he trying to create? He glanced back down at the diary and saw something else written in bigger letters and underlined at the bottom of the last page. P.S. I'm leaving behind three talismans in case something happens to me. The liquid silver is the most powerful of them all. The hoodie and the dagger will only hold off the beast for the first 2 nights of the full moon. Only by infecting its blood on the 3rd night can it be destroyed forever. Max looked up from the diary to the sketches on the wall. He examined the drawings of the silver zipper on the hoodie, the silver dagger, and the vial of glowing liquid silver. He had encountered all 3 of the talismans except for the last one. He looked around for it, but didn't find anything. Why is the liquid silver the most powerful talisman of all? He wondered, just then something crashed against the cellar window behind him.